This live meeting video tutorial is going to show you how to create and give a live meeting poll. We're going to learn how to create a poll and then how to share the poll results or make sure that those results are being shared. And then we'll also talk about integrating a poll in your PowerPoint slide deck. You're looking at the live meeting dashboard. To open a poll, you have to be a presenter. You know you're a presenter if on the attendee pane you've got this little person to the right of your line. Open up your content pane and then go to the share menu. In share, look for poll page. We're going to share a poll page. When you select it, it opens up a window that is called the Create Poll window. At that point, you want to be typing your question in the blank, and then we're going to tab our way through these responses. Do not use the return key because it will close that screen. And so we're going to type in, do you agree? We'll tab down and put yes, neutral, no. And then the OK button is active. You can either click OK or hit the return key at this point, and that's what will activate it and make it a live meeting poll. I've just modified the screen view so I can show you a very important point. Listen carefully. When you give a poll as the presenter, you will always see the results as they come in. But the default setting is that your participants, everybody else in your meeting, will not be able to see it unless you enable them to see it with every poll that you create. So the default is that results are hidden from attendees. Let me show you how to change that. Look at the center of the polling slide and you'll see there are a series of icons here. And if you hover over them, they will show you what those buttons are about. This first one says Show Poll Results. So every time that you create a poll, the default is your attendees can't see the results unless you click this very, very important button right here. And when you click it, notice what happens to this phrase at the bottom of the poll. It says results are shown. That means your participants can see it. One of my favorite parts of the live meeting poll is that it is live the whole time this screen is open. People can put their votes in. So let's say we ask the team, do you agree? Go ahead and put your answers in, team. And as we can see here, it gives us immediate feedback from everybody in the group. We also, as we discuss it, people can change their votes. And you'll see these votes changing in time, and eventually you'll find that your team will reach consensus, perhaps. Let's look at these buttons at the bottom of the screen because there are more than what we've seen here, just to give you a quick heads up on this. Let's say that we do this poll. We've reached a decision, and now we're going on to the next issue with our team, and then we want to use this poll again. You don't have to type it a second time. We can just clear it and redo it. What you want to do is look at the buttons at the bottom of the screen. This one says Clear Polls. Notice right now there are 3 votes. We have 100% that said yes. We're going to clear that away. We will get a dialog box that says, are you sure you want to clear all those poll results? And we're going to say okay on that. And now this poll is ready to use again. These buttons at the bottom are very self-explanatory, but I do want to show you a couple of other things. If you just hover over the button, there's a little box that'll open that says what it's all about. The Edit Poll, just click on it. That brings back the Do You Agree, the original question that we typed. You can modify it and then click OK, and that poll is ready to go again. You know it's ready because the text is black. 2 other buttons that you're going to rarely use are the Open Polls and Close Polls. You never have to use them, but they're here just in case. I'll show you what they are. So the first one is the Close the Polls. So if you want to maybe give people a certain amount of time to put their answer in, you can say, I'll give you 15 seconds, and then close that poll result by clicking on this button. And notice that the responses are now gray versus black. Gray means nobody can press on any of these colors, nothing's going to happen. But if you go down to the same series of buttons and find the one that says Open the Poll, it reopens it and allows people to once again put their answer in and have it recorded. Just hover over the buttons and familiarize yourself with them. The ones that are most important are the first one on the line, which is Show Poll Results. Always put that on there. And the last one, again, you just don't really need it. If you're using live meeting for meetings and you want to use polls in it, best thing to do is to just load them into the content pane. This is the default setting where it goes. but I always like to give it a meaningful name. So to do that, you just right-click on that poll 1 because it doesn't tell us what's in it. You can rename it and give it a useful name. And then when you look at it on your list of things to share in your meeting, it's real easy to know which one is the poll. In contrast, if you're giving a presentation in your live meeting session, you may want to put the polls in the slide deck. I have uploaded this file, Discover Live Meeting Training, into Live Meeting. I did that by Share Upload File. You've got to bring it in this way in order for this technique to work that I'm showing you. Once that's there, then on the content pane, there actually is another tearaway menu under thumbnails. Just left click on thumbnails. There's the tearaway menu. And so we're going to pull it away to the side, and I want to bring it back over. The gray part means it's going to load on the upper left part of the dashboard. And so now you can see that we have thumbnails of all the slides. I'm actually going to take my content pane and put it over on the right, so it's just kind of out of the way. So let's say that I want to go down and I want to take this particular slide, slide 6, and I'm going to turn it into a live meeting poll. The way I do it is I right-click on the miniature, on the thumbnail. I go to Insert New Page, Insert a Poll, select that, and you recognize this very familiar Create Poll window. And then I'm going to go ahead and type the poll. So I paused it so I could type the poll. Here it is. And then I'm going to click OK. And now what we see is in our slide deck, there is that poll. It's already inserted. It's not ready to go yet. We already learned that the minute you create the poll, the very next thing you do is go down to the bottom, and we're going to make sure that results are shown. Just make that a habit. What I don't want now is this slide that I originally had in here. I want to eliminate it. So all I do is I do a right click, I delete the page. It will ask me a dialog, do I really want to eliminate that? And I do. And so now if you look at the slide deck, the slide that used to have the words in blue now is no longer there. And now in its place in slide 6 is this poll that we just created. In this tutorial, what we learned is how to create a poll in live meeting. It's a very easy process. It's one of the most wonderful polling features because the poll is always open and people can change their minds in the answers and it will record that. It's very, very cool. We learned how to share poll results. The minute you create a poll, participants do not have the ability to see the results unless you click that Share Poll Results button. The third thing we learned is in the online presentations, you may want to integrate the poll into your PowerPoint slide. So he showed you how to do that. It's a very easy process to do. Well, this is Dr. Jacqueline Costner, and this concludes this video on how to create and give a live meeting poll.